Yeah, yeah, yeah. Coming through hot like whoa, giving them chills like brrr. Coming through hot like chili in the pot, chilling on a hot new stove. Coming through hot like whoa.
Peace. Welcome y'all Benchwarmers University. I go by R&B.
I'm Neely, and good evening, bitches.
Yeah. It's been a crazy week one. Not week 0. We had a real week this week.
Yo.
Whew.
And you know what? We had a few good games actually, and then you had a few, of course, the blowouts. You know how them week ones really be.
Yeah.
You know, but I think we had a pretty good week, and I think we're going for something new for week 2.
What was your biggest surprise week 1?
Bruh, well, honestly, you had Oregon honestly getting a little bit of scare.
Yeah.
You know, they I can't believe they who was it?
They played Idaho.
Idaho, they actually got it for 14-17, and it wasn't until the end of the game that Oregon actually actually did their thing. They dropped actually 3 spots.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, they dropped like 3 or 4 spots in the top 25 because of that game. And then of course you have Florida State losing again. DJ, you gotta throw better is what his name should be, bro.
His accuracy was non-existent.
Bro, I think he was 21 for 42, bro.
Yeah. Like watching it was like, who are you throwing it to? Are you not looking? Like,
yo, did you also see that one? He had a wide open receiver in the end zone and threw it like 10 feet over his head.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, and you were like only like 15 yards out.
And his heart, like, he transferred from Clemson. A lot of people there were probably like, kind of told you so.
We'd rather get our ass beat by Georgia than sit there and be losing.
That was bad. That was real bad.
They actually went out of the top 25 now.
Yeah. And of course, my biggest surprise, of course, is going to be the Oregon Ducks also. I had Oregon winning the national championship.
Yeah.
But you can't struggle with Idaho. Like,
yeah.
I didn't know the Potato State had a football team. Like, you can't struggle with Idaho.
They be throwing potatoes, bro. Yeah. That's how they be playing.
That was really bad. I know a lot of teams struggle with the FCS teams. Like, Colorado had a tough one with North Dakota State.
Yeah. Yo, NC State.
Yeah, they struggled bad with Western Carolina.
Game, yeah.
And I didn't know the western side of Carolina had a football team. Like,
bro,
that online school.
They out there throwing snowballs and shit.
Yeah. I was like, so a lot of teams struggle, but Oregon had no reason to be struggling with Idaho like that. That's not
hey,
cool.
actually, going back to what both of us were talking about, LSU. You know, I think that LSU is gonna be a good team, but they're just not gonna finish games.
Yeah.
USC finished, and literally when it came down to not finishing the game, it was the last 10 seconds, dude.
And you didn't give up a field goal. You gave up a touchdown. You cannot do that. I'm like,
bro, there was just so much stuff, and then you of course had all the blowouts and stuff like that. But you know what? It was weird though. I was actually looking at that Georgia Clemson game, and I mean at halftime, it was actually like and then all of a sudden Georgia went to the break, and they were just like, bro, all right, we're done playing with these dudes.
And that, like, it was a blow. Well, like I would say, I do think Clemson played it tougher than I thought.
Yeah.
It was a close game, like you said. The first half, what was it, 6-0, something like that, something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then of course, Georgia in the second half they just started piling up points. But I mean, there's no such thing as sympathy points when you lose 34-3.
Yeah.
But they held their own, so like.
Yeah, I mean they still won by the 3 touchdowns that we both said at least was gonna happen.
At least,
You thought it was gonna be like 51-10.
I think I said like 56 to like. But so.
To be honest with you though, I was agreeing with you, so I can't hate too much.
No, they played well for the first half. Clemson. Maybe Dabo Swinney, as you know, he does not like the transfer portal and all this other stuff.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like that transfer portal.
I don't either, but if that's the way college football, it's kind of like you don't want to be Blockbuster if you're refusing to go streaming because if Netflix is going to happen and Netflix is going to beat you 34-3. So it's like sometimes you kind of got to adjust with the times or be like Nick Saban and just retire because you're holding the program back.
Yo, that's probably one of the reasons why he was just like, you know what, this is getting different. This is getting way different than I thought it was.
Otherwise, without this is the transfer portal, NIL age, and doing it the old way, you're gonna lose 34-3. Like it just is.
Life
what it
can
is
be cruel.
Life is not fair. It just is what it is at this point, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And another like like I said, we talking about a lot of teams struggle with the FCS. I was watching the Colorado North Dakota State game.
Yeah.
And as you know, I picked Colorado to win the Big 12.
Yeah.
Coach Prime, get that defense together. You're not winning the Big 12 playing defense like that. Like, they're talking about, it looked like players were just running wide open.
Yeah.
Like, yes, North Dakota State is an elite program for the FCS level. Like, I didn't think they were going to blow them out.
Yeah.
But the way that game looked, that shouldn't have happened. You can't have people wide open running down the middle of the field. You stop them on third down, then Shiloh Sanders with the late hit out of bounds. You can't do stuff like that. You're not going to win the Big 12 doing stuff like that.
Yo,
these teams you're playing, we used to play the Arizonas, UCFs.
That Arizona game was definitely way high scoring than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, that first half, one, should not have been like that.
Yeah.
Arizona, you're definitely not going to win these games if you don't have any defense.
Yeah.
I mean, I know whatever the over-under of that game was, they went over.
They went over, yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, Arizona started taking off in the second half, but at the same time, you can't let some no-name in his team score, 39 or 34 points or something like that. You can't let a team like that.
Yeah.
Your defense is not going to keep up.
You can't,
Yeah. And you want to know another good game though was the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, Texas A&M. That
was actually a pretty good game.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame just took it in the end. It was like in the fourth quarter they just finally. I think Texas A&M just kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah, and I got like, being a Duke fan, I was a big hater of that game because of course, Elko, bitch ass, like he left Duke literally in the middle of the night, packed up his office and went to coach Texas A&M. Then our quarterback, Riley Leonard, transferred to Notre Dame. So watching that game was like,
all y'all, bro. As a UNC fan,
you're right.
Fuck all three of them, bro. Fuck all of them.
It was a really good game, though. It was a really, really, really good game.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. And
so
Oregon State, real quick, though, they played another FCS powerhouse in South Dakota State. Which for me, I thought that was going to be the upset of the week. Because South Dakota State, as you know, they was like the two-time defending national champions. Yeah. They haven't lost a game in like over two since the COVID year, basically. Yeah. And Oregon State, they came out, not Oregon State, Oklahoma State, I'm sorry. They came out there and they played really, really well. They played good defense. They didn't underestimate them. And they did what you should do against an FCS powerhouse like that. Yeah. If you play your brand of football, you should win. So kudos to them.
But you also, too, I mean, good, you had a lot of big blowouts. We also had those teams that are supposed to be blowing some of these teams out did well. Texas did well. Ole Miss did well. Alabama did well. Tennessee.
Well, some of that does bother me because I hate the Alabama when you're playing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying they're doing what that's what you're supposed to do. You can't go into this week one playing against some of these teams and expect to keep on going. Yeah. You can't.
I get the FCS playing the FCS teams. I get it. Of course, the FCS from their side, they get a lot of money to play those games, helping them fund the programs. Yeah. But I'm sorry, week one, I want to see the USC versus LSU's. I want to see Notre Dame versus A&M. I don't want to see Alabama versus South Institute of Technology, or whoever the fuck they play. I don't know, West Bumblefuck. So I don't want to see that in week one.
Hey, yo, so I saw, and then of course Tennessee with that. Tennessee, no matter who you're playing, when you go for a total of over 700 yards, any college football game, and you go over 700 yards and you lose, hey, look, check me out in the comments. I want y'all to sit there and tell me, if you ever see a college football team go for over 700 yards and lose, y'all let me know what I should do live on camera, because I ain't never gonna see that happen.
Yeah. That just should not happen.
Yes. That should not happen. It doesn't matter who you are, bro. 700 yards, dog.
Yeah. Well, I had some. My phone is about to die. My phone is dying quicker than Florida State's playoff chances. So real quick,
what?
Florida State. I'm sorry. Pack it up. It's like when you're playing a video game, you could just sim the off season, because this year is over for you guys. I'm sorry. This year is over. I gave you the Georgia Tech loss, but you lost to Boston College also. And not only, it wasn't like a fluke field goal at the end. You got dominated in the trenches in both games. Yeah. Your season is done.
But I think I think, you know what, it may be because when you look at the stats of that game, 16 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah.
He threw 21 for 42. You hit 50% on 42 passing. You're supposed to start off as a number 10 team in the nation. And you playing against teams that aren't even ranked. You cannot go 21 for 42.
Okay.
And it could honestly be an offensive line problem.
Yeah.
It could because, you ran 16 times for 9 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that is crazy.
And they also, that's the one downside with the transfer portal. It's kind of like teams, a lot of times, especially these younger teams, like the teams who's not big-time programs.
Yeah.
They're not getting 20 NFL players every year. So they've been playing together for 3-4 years. Sometimes you got seniors who've been on the roster since freshmen. So
y'all should know each other.
They know how to play as a team. Whereas you got Florida State, you lost Jordan Travis, you lost a lot of players to the draft, a lot of transfers. You got a lot of transfers. They had I think one of the top 5 transfer classes coming in. But
they don't play together.
It looked like the first time they met was against Georgia Tech. I'm like
they shook each other's hands, walking at them.
Like they didn't have off season. Like there's no kind of.
Hey man, I'm DJ needs to throw better. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh. Yo, everybody that like you just said, bro, it looked like they just never played together before. But I think we have a good week 2 because we actually have a few good games I think coming up in week 2.
Yeah, week 2 we have a lot of good games. First of all, my upset of the week, I have my group of 5 teams, Appalachian State. They're gonna go in Clemson and they're gonna beat Clemson. They're gonna go right to Greenville, South Carolina, and Appalachian State will beat Clemson. Mark my word. When it happens, go ahead, DM me when it happens. When it happens, go ahead, quote us on Twitter at BenchWarmersJew. Quote us on Twitter because I'm telling you, Appalachian State will beat Clemson this week. I guarantee it.
I can see that happening. I just, like we was talking about too, man, last week, I just don't think Clemson is what they were. I think their name got them to whatever they were at the beginning of the season. I think it was just their name that got them there. I don't think they actually have the talent and the ability to actually move on. Here's a good prediction though. Is the Texas is going into Michigan.
Yeah.
Texas is favored -7.5, and the over/under is 42.5. How do you feel about that game?
I think that's going to be a tough game. I think on paper, Texas rightly should be the favorite. Rightly by about 7.5.
Yeah.
But going to the big house, that is a hard place to play.
Yeah.
And if you never played there before, like that's not an easy place to play.
Yeah.
Michigan doesn't lose there too often.
Yeah. And you know, like Michigan, their fans are dedicated. Like a lot of times too, man, the energy really does play a huge factor in any game. When you go to somewhere else to play, that energy, if they have a team that is a very, it's hard to hear, it's all kinds of different things that go into it.
Yeah.
And especially too when you sit there and you fuck up and they all just start going nuts for you fucking up. I mean, it's all kinds of different factors that go into it. But I got Texas winning. I think by 10, so I think they'll cover the spread.
Yeah.
I think it will. I think it'll go over 42.5.
See, I have Texas winning by about 3 to 4 points. I don't have them covering, and I actually think it's going to be a low-scoring game. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
I think Michigan. Yes, they lost a lot of their starters, starting quarterback, starting running back, but one thing they still do, they still are good in the trenches.
Yeah.
I got Texas actually winning that one probably about 17-13. I think it's going to be a tough physical game, but I do got Texas coming out with the win.
I think it'll be about maybe like 17 to maybe like 24-27. I know I said 10 points, but around there, 17 to 24 to 27. I think because the 10-point thing, I think it'll just be some last minute field goal or something like that, just to kind of take the game away.
Yeah. Let's see, what other big games you got this week?
I got now back to my thing with Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas plays Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I said before last week, I said between them and Auburn to sneak in.
Yeah.
And I think whoever, if Arkansas or Auburn wins that game later in the season, I think that's who it's going to be. But I think Arkansas is going to give Oklahoma State a run for their money. Oklahoma State's favored by 7.5, and the over-under is 62.5. I don't think it's going to cover the over-under at all.
Yeah.
At all. I don't think Arkansas has enough power to get that the numbers going up that well.
Yeah.
I think that they can give Oklahoma State a very run for their money. I don't think Arkansas is that bad of a team, but I could see them like winning by 3.
Yeah.
Something like that. But they are going to Oklahoma State.
Yeah. My game of the week, believe it or not, is none of the teams are ranked. Nobody's talking about them in the playoffs. But Colorado's going to Nebraska. Nebraska has a freshman phenom at quarterback, Dylan Raiola. A lot of people don't know. He originally committed to Ohio State. Then he changed his mind. He's going to go to Georgia. Then he changed his mind. For some reason, he picked Nebraska.
Yeah.
And he really, really looked the part like this past week. And he really looked the part. The Nebraska biggest thing is they're very physical.
Yeah.
But because the quarterback play, they wasn't able to score any points.
Yeah.
They dropped the 40 burger this past week. So now, of course, you're coming in with Colorado, who's not great on defense, but they can score. They can score with the best of them.
Colorado can, yeah.
So with Dylan Raiola, Shedeur Sanders, I think that's going to be a shootout, honestly.
Yeah, like a gunslinging type thing.
I think like last year Colorado won, I believe, 31-14 in a game that really didn't seem as close as it was.
Yeah.
It was a defensive struggle in the first half. And Colorado started pouring on points, and Nebraska couldn't match him.
Yeah.
This time, I think Nebraska with Dylan Raiola.
Where are they playing at?
At Nebraska.
In Nebraska.
I think Dylan Raiola is actually really, really good. And looking at both of their schedules, I think this is I'm not saying either team is going to win a national championship, anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think if you look at the schedule after this game, they don't really play a lot of tough competition.
Yeah.
Until, of course, Nebraska when they go to Ohio State, the second half of the schedule. Colorado, second half of this schedule when they go to Arizona.
Yeah.
So
I just don't see Arizona being that great.
So whoever wins this one, they could potentially be neck and neck to win the division going into November.
Just because they don't have that hard schedule, so they're just going to keep looking good the whole way.
Yeah.
And then until they play some good teams, but Ohio State, if you're playing Ohio State, you're probably not going to it's probably not going to take you out of the running for anything.
Like for that one, I believe that says the favorite.
Oh, Nebraska 7.5
favorite,
and then over under is 58.5.
Yeah. So I actually have Colorado winning, but like I said, I think they're gonna blow away the over under.
Yeah.
So I got Colorado winning that one, probably about. Honestly,
I think it'll hit 30s.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be about 38-31. Honestly, that's gonna be a close one. Whoever got the ball last. Dylan Raiola is really, really good, but Shedeur Sanders, he just has the experience.
Yeah.
And freshman, he's played really good, but after a while, experience does come into play.
And that's the thing, though, too, is most of the great quarterbacks don't start until their junior or senior year. You always had to sit there. It's like, you're going to sit until your junior year, no matter how good you are, because I already got somebody ready to go.
Like last year, Dylan Raiola was playing against high school kids who some of them are probably dropouts now and living in their parents' basement. And now he's going against Travis Hunter and Shiloh Sanders.
You're actually going against
it's
teams.
different, yeah. And Colorado, speed-wise, they can keep with any team in the country speed-wise. They're
fast.
Between Jimmy Horn Jr., Travis Hunter on the outside, they're really, really fast.
I just don't see their defense is I think that's why the over is going to happen, because both those teams, I don't think their defense is going to be stopping as much as like you were saying. It's going to be a very fast-paced game. And I don't think each of the defense is fast enough to compete with each of the offense.
I think the perfect thing North Dakota State did against Colorado last week was control the time of possession.
Yeah.
Every play they did was literally to the middle of the field, keep the clock running.
Yeah.
Like in the first half, they dominated the time of possession.
Yeah.
You limited Colorado's possessions, you got a great chance of winning.
Yeah.
North Dakota Standing for they're just an FCS team.
All the time, man. It's just like whoever holds the ball the longest, typically has the better advantage.
Yeah. It's like North Dakota State got the ball. They got a 10-yard drive, going down the field, touchdown. Colorado gets the ball, 2 plays, touchdown.
Yeah.
Dakota gets the ball back, 16-yard drive. Colorado gets the ball, you get a 3 and out. Now at that point, you dominate time of possession. They ran 4 plays the whole game, and you up to about 20-something plays. That's the way to beat Colorado. And with Nebraska now being a pass-happy team, I'm just not confident they're going to be able to control the possession.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a home run derby kind of shootout, honestly.
I can see that. All right, let's see.
And one thing I want to comment real quick about the new top 25 is the disrespect towards Miami. Miami actually played a real school, and they dominated Florida. I think this should be way higher than they have right now. They have a legit Heisman hopeful in Cam Ward, and what they got ranked 10.
Actually, here, let's go through the rankings real quick. So, 1 and 2, Georgia and Ohio State, they stay the same.
Yeah.
Texas moved up 1 to number 3.
Fair.
Alabama moved up 1 to 4. Notre Dame moved up 2 to number 5. Ole Miss still at 6. Oregon lost 4 spots to number 7.
Yeah.
Penn State staying at number 8. Missouri moved up 2 to number 9. Michigan went down to number 10.
Yeah.
Utah moved up 1 to number 11. Miami went up 7 to number 12. I could have seen them being in the top 10.
I think Miami, they was ranked way too low to begin with anyway.
And then so USC moves up 10 spots to number 13 with that big win.
Yeah.
Tennessee moves up 1 to number 14. Oklahoma up 1 to 15. Oklahoma State up 1 to 16. Kansas State up 1 to 17. LSU loses 5 spots going to 18. Kansas goes up 3 spots to number 19. Arizona went up a spot for 20. Iowa went up 4 spots to number 21. Louisville, 22. Georgia Tech, 23. And they were not ranked before. NC State staying at number 24. Clemson lost 11 spots to go to number 25. How do you feel about this new top 25?
Yeah, like I said, I think Miami is too low. I think Alabama is too high.
I think Alabama's too high.
Because they didn't play anybody.
Yeah.
Like, even this week, they played South Florida. They're 31-point favorites, but last year they did struggle with them in South Florida, which is a tough place to play.
Yeah.
I think 31 is about right where Alabama's going to win this week.
Yeah.
But I need to see Alabama play against a real team.
Yeah.
To really get a fair judgment on it.
It goes back to what we were talking about last week, how some teams are just getting these ranks because of their name.
Yeah, literally.
And ain't nobody saying that Alabama ain't nice.
No, they're
nobody's
good.
saying that.
He's official,
but it's like you just said, bro. Number 4, we haven't even seen them really play.
Going by the eye test, my top 10, I'm not going to do 25. That's a lot. My top 10, I would have Georgia, Ohio State,
of course,
Texas. I would have Notre Dame at number 4. They had an impressive win.
I could see that.
I would have Ole Miss at 5. I think they had a good week. I would have Penn State above Alabama also. Oregon is going to be about number
9. Honestly, 8 or 9.
Oregon,
They shouldn't have struggled the way they should, but they did.
Struggling is a one thing, but you can't struggle in your first game.
It's Idaho. They brought the game in the 4th quarter or something like that to 14 to 17. Yeah. And honestly, it was just a last minute or last quarter touchdown by Oregon that really made the game look, what it did. But that game was way closer than it should have been.
Idaho, they was matching the physicality.
Yep.
They looked just as fast. Yep. I don't know what happened with Oregon this offseason, but usually Oregon, that's the track meet. Yeah. They didn't have the speed that they seen. I didn't see the quarterback play. I know they lost Bo Nix, but I didn't see the quarterback play at all.
You want to know something though? I think a lot of times too in these first weeks, some of these teams get a big head, cocky attitude. They thinking like they just gonna win that game wide open. And I think that's their problem. I think maybe that game maybe opened their eyes a little bit, sitting there saying, "Oh snap, we aren't that as great as we thought we were. We were number 3 in the country, thinking we were just gonna come play some potato heads."
Yeah. I know this week they played Boise State, who is another tough one. That's a tough one.
Where are they playing at?
They play and I believe in Oregon. Let me double check though. Yeah, they play in Oregon. Oregon's 19.5, favors by 19.5. which is going to be a tough because Boise State does have currently the leader rusher.
Yeah.
He rushed for 267 yards last week.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be a cupcake game.
Yeah.
So if you struggle against Idaho, Boise State's going to have something for you.
Florida A&M's going into Miami.
Yeah, I think Miami should.
I think they should win that one real well. There's no spread on that one yet. South Florida's going to Alabama, like you said. Buffalo's going to Missouri. Missouri's favored by 34.5, and the over/under is 51.5. I think Missouri should run away with that one the same way they did in week 1. Just beat the shit out of them.
Unless these are the Bills we're talking about with Josh Allen, Missouri should definitely win that one by a lot.
Yeah, they should. They should beat the hell out of them. We got Kansas going to Illinois.
I actually really like Kansas. I think they're going to underachieve, but the quarterback Jaden Daniels is really good.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a Kansas fan. I don't think they're going to win the Big 12, but I'm a fan of Kansas this year.
I like Kansas because my boy Roy,
Yeah.
he was coaching them before he came to UNC, and you know what, man, I'll give y'all a little bit there.
Yeah.
Kansas, I do like y'all a little bit, but I think y'all will go in there, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I think that game was going to be like by a touchdown or something like that. I really think that Illinois is going to, because they're going to Illinois, I think Illinois is just going to come out there and say, fuck it, let's just go for it. Because a lot of times too, man, these underdogs, they have nothing
to lose.
They know that they're not going to the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, they know they're not going, so they're just like, you know what, let's go out there and have fun, play some football.
Yeah, play the greatest game on earth.
Yeah, not? Who gives a shit? Like, yo, fuck it. If I get an interception, we all knew it was coming.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
And those are the ones that you get the one-handed catches and be sitting there and be like on the ESPN top 10 type shit like that. But so yeah, I got Kansas winning that one too. Western Michigan going into Ohio State. Ohio State 38 by 38, and then over under 54.5. I think Ohio State themselves will cover the over/under.
Yeah.
I think they hit 60 points.
Yeah.
I think themselves going in there. I think that's gonna.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a close.
If that's a close game, bro, I'll attempt a backflip.
Right.
And probably break my neck, but you know what? Whatever.
We're gonna hold them to it.
Yeah. All right, so then let's go back to that Tennessee, NC State. Tennessee, they say in Tennessee by 8.
And they play in Charlotte also.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's kind of
it's classic.
it's neutral between both of them. Like, both of their teams travel well. Tennessee is not that far from Charlotte, and you throw a few rocks and you're in Charlotte.
Yeah.
So I think that it will be a great crowd game. But of course, man, Tennessee, I think they're a lot better than their rank.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee could be a top 8 team right now.
Yeah, I think they had a down year last year. Cause remember the year before they was really good. They beat Alabama.
Yeah.
They beat Clemson in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
Last year was a down year. I think they are back.
Yeah.
So I actually have Tennessee winning that one by 2 touchdowns, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that. And I might even put money down on that one.
Yeah.
Cause I got a bookie somewhere, so.
Yeah.
But all right, then you got Houston going to Oklahoma. Oklahoma's favored by 30 with the over/under being 49.5. With the over/under, I think it'll be just under. I think Houston gets their ass whooped and Oklahoma takes out their starters, and then that's why I don't think it'll go over 49.5.
That's about right.
Yeah.
I think that game was done by halftime. So.
I think it is too. App State going to Clemson. You said you think
I got App State.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a close one. It's not gonna be a blowout. But I got App State maybe I got App State by 3.
And if you're a gambler, I would definitely take this because they got Clemson minus 17.5.
Yeah.
Nah. And then it's the over/under.
Clemson haven't scored 17.5 points in a long time.
Bro, dead ass, yo. And then the over/under is 53.5. I don't see it going over. I don't see it going over that. Boise State going to Oregon. Oregon minus 19.5. Over/under 61.5. I don't see it going over 61.5, but I can definitely see Oregon.
Yeah, I think Oregon gets it together.
I think they cover the spread on that one. Northern Arizona going to Arizona. There's no spread yet on ESPN, but I don't see Arizona doing as good. I don't think their defense is that great.
Yeah.
You know, like you shouldn't have last week. They should not have let 38 or 39 points be scored. And I mean, it was that game at halftime was like, 24 to like, something. It was something crazy at halftime. But then Arizona took off. But like I said, I just don't see it happening with Arizona. I think Northern Arizona gives them a run for their money, but I don't think it's a blowout.
Yeah.
Next one we have is Utah State going to USC. USC's favored 28.5, over under 63.5. I see USC beating the shit out of them.
Okay, that's about right. USC.
I see USC beating the shit out. Utah State, I think they were the ones that played Utah last week.
Yeah.
And Utah beat the fucking piss out of them.
It's gonna be about the same.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be about the same. Listen, I'm sorry, Utah State, but y'all just going into deathbed after deathbed after deathbed.
You are. So this week, like I mentioned before, I think my game in the week is going to be Nebraska, will be Colorado at Nebraska. That's going to be a shootout, fireworks.
Yeah.
I really don't have many blowouts for the week. When I say blowout, I'm not talking about the Alabama versus Durham Tech. I'm talking about like a real game. Like Georgia and Clemson are two real programs, and that was a blowout. That's what I mean. Yeah. So I don't think any of the good teams playing each other is going to blow anybody out really this week.
And that top 25, which game do you think is going to be a good game? I'm already going to put my shit on Texas and Michigan.
Yeah.
Going in. Now, if it was going into Texas, I would have a little bit different of an opinion, but going into Michigan,
that's going to be a great game.
And also too, you got to think of factors too where, Michigan's a lot colder than Texas.
Yeah.
So some people aren't used to playing in that. That's one thing that a lot of people don't understand, like when it comes to watching football. The weather can even, change
even
the whole game.
You're playing over by Lake Michigan. Yeah, it's chilly.
Teams in Florida, they have trouble going up north, man, in the middle of the season.
That's why a lot of teams like Miami and them play so good in September because teams are not used to that humidity.
Yep.
Going down there is different.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as you step on the field, you're like sweating.
You already sweat.
You're not used to that.
Yeah.
And
honestly, like for NFL, they have like the Dolphins, the way that their place is set up, like it's like 10 degrees cooler on their side than it is on the opposing sideline. Which I mean, that's
home field advantage.
That's what it is. It's you like a lot of people are like, oh, that's not fair. It's like, shut up. All right, it is what it is. That's why you go to different places.
It's called home field advantage. Like Husky Stadium, Washington is built so that the crowd noise literally funnels down on the field. It's literally designed that way.
Yeah. Because that's
home field advantage. Yeah.
Exactly. Like it's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Oregon Aztec Stadium, it literally shakes because the crowd is so loud.
Yeah.
You literally can feel like a vibration.
Yeah.
That's called home field advantage.
Exactly. If it wasn't like that, then they would just have teams just going scattered, neutral all over the country, and it's like. But it just, it would have changed the game too much. You can't have that, man. I enjoy it. I like a good home field advantage.
That's my favorite thing about the expanded playoffs is that round one is going to be on campus this year.
Yeah.
So the round one games,
I didn't know that.
They play, like round two, the teams who got to buy, those are going to be bowl games. Round one is going to be at the home site.
Yeah.
So you might potentially get some of these southern teams, Alabama, somebody traveling to Ohio to play in the snow.
Yeah.
And that's
not ready.
Yeah, that's going to be a big difference.
Yeah. Honestly, all right. Living in North Carolina, the ACC, and we were talking last week about the Stanford and California and SMU coming into the ACC. I was watching it the other day, and at 11 o'clock at night, I sit there and I get home, and I have a first quarter that's starting off with the Stanford game, and I was like, you know what? I actually kind of like this because I stay up late, and I'm just like, I can watch a game. I can watch a game.
So ACC Network.
I ain't just walking in home, and it's just like, 2 minutes left. I'm like, come on. I like watching football. Yeah. So actually, I'm kind of starting. I think I might dig this.
It's different. Yeah. It's definitely different.
Yeah.
A lot of people watching on TV don't realize the time differences.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people was complaining last year. A lot of the Western teams, like Colorado, is a 2-hour difference from here.
Yeah.
So when they play at noon, they're really playing at 10 a.m. on their time.
Yeah.
If when USC plays, it's a 3-hour difference.
Yeah.
So their big noon kickoff is really 9 a.m. there.
Yeah.
playing football at 9 a.m. is an early fucking game.
Yeah.
That's
because
early as fuck.
it's not like you just get up at 8:30 and walk to the stadium. Like you got to go get ready. You got to get everything, situated.
For a 9 a.m. kickoff, you got to be at the stadium at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly. Starting your workout, getting all your stuff ready to go.
People don't realize the time differences is crazy.
It's a lot of people that don't play football that don't see those certain aspects, or people that just don't even watch sports in general. They sit there and they'll watch a podcast and they'll say, "Oh, what the hell are they talking about?" It's like, dude, it's a big difference, man. Like we were just talking about everything, time zone difference, weather difference. It doesn't matter, man. All that stuff can fuck up a game for some good team.
It does, yeah.
And you know what? The thing about college football, man, you lose a game, that could be your season.
Every game matters, yeah. And not even do a game matter, style points matter. Like when it comes down to let Oregon not win the Big Ten, and it comes down to ranking them against somebody else who's a one-loss team, you're going to go, well, Oregon struggled against Idaho, and this team blew out, so they're getting.
Yeah.
Style points matter.
Yeah.
This is not as long as we win by field goal. No. If you're favored by 30 points, you need to win by 30 points.
And
it matters.
Another thing too, man, is with the college football. With all this being said, is that if a good team loses to some random ass team. Now, this team is pulling for this team for the rest of the season. Like, yo, we need y'all to win some games. We need this because like you just said, man, it'll fuck up everything. It's like, well, y'all lost to them, and they're a shit team. But if it's like, oh, y'all lost to them, but they're actually not as bad as we thought they were.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a whole different ball game.
Yeah. I think we pretty much covered it. Yeah. I'm looking forward to week 2. Yeah. That Texas Michigan, that's gonna be a good one. Yeah. That's gonna be a real interesting.
I'm excited for that one, man. What time is that game?
12. It's a big one. 12.
12 nice. I like that. I like that early morning kickoff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
Because then you gotta, you wake up and be like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not like some trash ass game.
I'm a big fan of that. That's definitely the game of the week. Easy.
Yeah. But, if we covered everything, we got all the last week rankings, what we think is going to happen this week. Everybody comment. Like I said, if any college team ever has a 700 yards thing and loses, y'all comment and tell me what the hell I should do to make sure that I don't know.
Get that backflip right on the show.
Bro, I'll break my neck.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow us on social media at Benchwarmer University. That's on Instagram and Twitter. We're going to be tweeting live on Saturday during a lot of the games, so add us, tweet with us. We might be posted if you talking real shit. So
yo, talk some shit, yo. Talk some shit. I actually like haters more. Some haters are funny though. Yeah. I can't lie, cause with all my rap and stuff and everything, bro. I have some people say some funny shit where I'm just like, yeah, it's a hater, but I can't lie, that's kind of funny, But I go by Neely.
I go by R&B.
And you can see where to follow all of us at. Right there at the bottom of the screen. Y'all have a good day and tell your mother I love her.